Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be looking into this album's, 20th anniversary, which is today. And as you can see, that's how today we're going to be looking into Reinventing the Steel by Pantera, the band's 10th and final album released on March 21st, 2000. Now, obviously, I don't need to introduce Pantera. I mean, I haven't really talked much about them on here, but I definitely need to a little bit more. Like I said, this is the band's final album, and it was around this time, or a little bit after this album came out, that the band sort of fell apart. It wasn't until around 2001 when they pretty much went on a little hiatus, but until 03 when they officially were done. Yeah, but I feel like it's a kind of a shame because with this album compared to their last album, The Great Southern Trendkill, I feel like they're kind of going into a different direction. I guess I don't know. It's hard to explain. But it's still the same Pantera as you heard from Cowboys of Hell, from Hell, and for Vulgar Display of Power, and shit like that. Just vocally, Phil Anselmo just sounds as brutal as ever. Or the guitar work from the late great Dimebag Darrell, rest in peace. It's just I don't know, it's just his harmonics and just the way he plays guitar is just shredding. And Rex Brown's bass is pretty audible. You can definitely hear it well in the mix. And the drumming from the late great Vinnie Paul, just his double bass drumming, and just I don't know, he was a hell of a drummer, and in my opinion one of the most underlooked drummers in metal, but that's just me. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Hellbound, which opens up with some good sound production with sort of Dimebag's guitars, as well as some double vocal tracking from Phil. And you could definitely tell the artistic shift that was made with this song in Pantera. It's a pretty solid opener. And then we go into Goddamn Electric, which in my opinion is one of my favorite Pantera songs. And I think the catchy part in this song isn't necessarily the tune, but sort of its tribute to metal lyrics, like your trust is in whiskey and weed in Black Sabbath, and then your trust is in whiskey and weed in Slayer. In fact, this is one of Pantera's most interesting songs because I heard this was actually recorded backstage at an Ozfest near the outro of this solo at the song was actually performed by Kerry King from Slayer, Rep, which is a pretty cool song. Anyway, moving on to Yesterday Don't Mean Shit, which sounds like a quickly recorded soundcheck riff, and it's still an okay song. Again, sort of the part that stands out the most is Phil's vocal work, and it's a very fast-paced song. Anyway, You've Got to Belong to It. When I first heard this song, within the first 20 seconds, the guitar part had me mesmerized. A real break from traditional guitar playing, even along metal, and the lyrics are good as well. Revolution Is My Name, which in my opinion is one of my favorite Pantera songs. This one has probably the coolest guitar riffs I've ever heard, and it almost makes you shiver when I first hear it. Anyway, moving on to Death Rattle, which I believe this song was actually for my sort of my introduction to Pantera. When I believe this song was actually featured in an episode of SpongeBob, if you haven't seen that one. And I feel like this song kind of seems like it's slapped together, not really stellar playing until the chorus, and the drumming I feel like could be better on the verse, and it's still a good song worth a listen, especially for the awesome bridge and breakdown in there. Like I said, this was pretty much the song that pretty much got me how I first heard of Pantera when I was a kid. Anyway, moving on to We'll Grind That Axe for a Long Time, which is a good song, not that great. It actually sounds better when you're not totally awake. It's not a bad song, though. I would be happy if I could write one that's half as good. That's just me. Uplift, which is one of my favorites from this album. It really makes you want to turn the volume up to 11 when Phil is screaming with just the drums in the background. A really good solo, too. And then we go into It Makes Them Disappear. When I first heard this song, I was really freaked out. It sounds like nothing that they've ever done before, but then I discovered after the intro that they did a really good job of blending experimental guitar riffs with some awesome double-tracked vocals and just the classic Pantera riffs. And then the album closes, and the band's last song ever is I'll Cast a Shadow, which I believe is a true Pantera epic. And this song kind of really shows that Phil is getting ready to change musically. And when you hear this song after hearing something from Heresy from Cowboys of Hell, you can definitely tell that this band has grown. And overall, Reinventing the Steel by Pantera is a pretty solid way to end their run. And it's a shame after this. I really wish they could have gone on for a little bit longer, but sadly, they broke up in well, technically they kind of were done by 2001, but they were officially done by 2003. And sadly, Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul are sadly no longer with us, which is a shame. And just rest in peace, Diamond Vin. Just keep rocking in heaven. So overall, Reinventing the Steel by Pantera, I'm going to give this probably a solid 8.5 out of 10. And probably an 8. So yeah, that's my review of the album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.